Every single day, new headlines reveal just how far PFAS contamination is spreading. From small-town wells to massive corporate settlements, the legal spotlight is really growing right now. If you're a trial lawyer waiting for momentum, you're already falling behind. And what has been shocking to me, at least talking to people, is the number of doctors and lawyers, everyday people who have no idea what PFAS is. It's also known as the forever chemical, and a lot of headlines are popping up. Major media outlets are now covering PFAS daily. New York Times, Newsweek, even Network News, they're all telling stories about contaminated water, sick families, and legal action. So why does this matter to you? Because public awareness is going to create intense legal momentum. And even Congressman Dan Kildee, who I interviewed in D.C., confirmed this litigation will be bigger than asbestos.
But the way I look at this, it's going to be very expensive. There's no question about it. It's going to be very expensive to clean up this problem. But we have to look at that, number one, because there's a moral aspect of this. If a private or a public organization caused harm, it needs to take responsibility for that harm it caused, and that includes the federal government.
The more people see PFAS stories popping up, the more they start asking, what can be done about this, and how could this affect me? And they want to know what can work to improve their health. In fact, the problem is so big, it's estimated that there aren't enough water remediation companies in existence right now to tackle this problem. To say the problem is enormous is truly an understatement. And when people start Googling or searching ChatGPT or Claude, the question is, will they find you? This is the moment to position your firm in the conversation. Let's look at what's working on the news cycle right now. The local impact angle, stories tied to your specific town and water systems. That's generating the most engagement. This is very important for your SEO as well, whether it's your content on your website or on PFAS overall, or stories that you're sharing on LinkedIn or other social media. Get the conversation going now. Use geography in your messaging too. Here's an example. PFAS detected in 14 Texas counties. Could your water be next? As someone who positions business owners and law firms as legal experts for a living, I would highly suggest learning about PFAS and the impact it has in your area and pitching local news stories to reporters who are really hungry for localized content. Then there's the human story next. Consider news angles that feature victims of cancer, birth defects, infertility. These are all popping up, and they've been linked to environmental contamination. Then, of course, there's the emotional narrative that really builds trust for you and your brand. My family's cancer wasn't genetic, it was in our water. That's a great headline to work from. I recently attended a PFAS conference, and medical experts really talked about how PFAS is linked to a huge spike in testicular cancer, for example, in boys 17 to 18 years old. The medical literature on all this is really stunning. These are the kinds of people who don't even know what to ask their doctor. They need education. So use your online brand through videos or social content to educate people about the link between PFAS and the surge in environmental cancers. And the accountability frame is so important too when you're considering your brand. Consider calling out those big corporations, government agencies, and military bases. They're all under scrutiny right now. And your brand will be the strongest if you publicly and consistently align with advocacy and accountability. One example that you could use for a headline on your blogs or your website would be, local leaders demand justice after PFAS is found in public schools. If your firm is not using these types of elements, you're not speaking the language in the moment. Let me share what we did with Brad Morris of the Brad Morris Law Firm. Brad hired me to help brand him and his firm as PFAS experts in his home state of Mississippi. So I helped them determine the name of the venture. So he's now the founder of the Forever Justice Alliance in Mississippi. So what he's created is a legal and community initiative helping landowners, municipalities, and cancer victims respond to PFAS contamination and really educate them. We work with Brad to build a messaging framework for him, develop PFAS-specific educational content, and produce a news-style video campaign to run during a major water board conference that he appeared at. By aligning all of this with his firm, with the language of trust, education, public advocacy, We helped him become a PFAS resource, not just a lawyer looking for leads. There's a big difference. And that's a big part of the game in PFAS. Right now, position yourself as a trusted guide through a very confusing landscape. Here's what you can do right now. Audit your website. Does it clearly show you work on PFAS cases at all? Does it include your state or region in the copy? Then you can draft a patient-facing version of your bio and firm mission and include a quote that could be used in a news story and then start pitching local journalists with that. And remember, be where the story is. Post educational PFAS content on your LinkedIn. Offer to speak at local water boards or town halls as well. And if your client agrees, profile their case and pitch that story to local reporters. Humanize the problem, show the emotion, and build a bridge of trust. The media isn't just reporting this crisis, it's shaping it. And your firm can either be part of the headlines or buried beneath them. You've got to stand out if you want to do that now. If you're ready to lead in PFAS litigation, subscribe now and check out the downloadable template below, your PFAS Media Kit Starter Guide. It's packed with sample quotes for press releases, media-friendly bios, 3 plug-and-play headline angles for your firm. So glad you joined us for this episode of Mass Torts Uncovered. I'm Christine Haas.